Hello, this is John Harity for CMSA TV Chicago. Welcome to another episode of CMSA Chicago Member Spotlight. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our informational video series by members, about members, discussing the various specialties in case management. Today's video puts the spotlight on Wendy Jaffe. Wendy has a master's in nurses education. She's an accredited case manager, which is more geared for hospital case managers. And she was a certified case manager when she was more not in a hospital environment. Her specialty is solid organ transplant, as well as stem cell transplant. Wendy has been a staff nurse for the last 25 years as a certified case manager. She has worked at various staff and supervisory positions and then went into case management when she got a job at an insurance company. She worked there for 3 years and then transferred to a large city hospital. Wendy was the stem cell oncology case manager for over 11 years. And then she went to med surg and then worked on the solid organ unit transplant for the remainder of her time at the hospital. She recently retired from nursing on January 25th, 2021. Congratulations, Wendy.
Thank you.
Wendy will always be a nurse case manager, and she plans to do various nursing volunteer jobs. She is administering the COVID vaccines now, and then she'll see what lies ahead in her future. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, John, for inviting me.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your career path, and what led you to your role today?
Certainly. So I started out, interesting enough, as an accredited record technician. And my roommate said to me, who was in nursing school at the time, do you really want to be behind a desk all day in an office? She said, you're more of a people person. She said, why don't you go to nursing school like I'm doing? And I said, what a fantastic idea. So that started my career as a nurse for over 40 years. So I had worked in many, various positions and jobs. And one day my friend called me and she said, I have the perfect job for you. And she said, they're hiring. I called the insurance company, I applied, and they hired me. And that began my career in case management. But first they trained me in utilization review, which I did for a little while. And then they said, we have a case management job open. Would you be interested? And I said, certainly. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. So I worked there in case management for over 1.5 years at that insurance company. And then my friend called me as I was doing, she was working in the hospital and I had the patient from the insurance side. And she said, Wendy, there's a position open at the hospital. Would you be interested in that? And I said, certainly. And then that began my career over 20 years at this large city hospital.
What a great story, Wendy, and what a beautiful friend you have.
Mm-hmm.
What does a workday look like for you now?
Okay, well, interesting enough, as you know, I retired on January 25th, 2021. So I can reflect back on, a typical day at the hospital, which was extremely busy. Our hospital did utilization review and discharge planning, case management together. So it was very, very busy. So I have to say it was one of the most rewarding jobs I had as a nurse, was working at this hospital. I loved every second of being a case manager at this large city hospital. And And now being retired has opened up a whole new world for me. I will always be a nurse. You know, it's in my heart. And so I lost my mother November 14th, 2020 to COVID.
Oh,
And I
sorry.
said to myself, thank you, John, that I want to, in my retirement, administer the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. And it was quite something to try to find a volunteer job. There were a lot of obstacles. And finally, my union president found this volunteer job for me. And it has been just the most rewarding experience I have had in nursing. I administer the vaccine, and I'm doing it in honor of my mother and to also help to prevent someone else from losing their life to this horrific virus.
Wow, I can't imagine more critical, rewarding work than that.
Absolutely.
So Wendy, it kind of segues into the next question. Three things. What do you enjoy most about the work you do? What are you most excited about right now? And what are the biggest rewards?
Yeah, well, you know, just reflecting on what I had just said, is I think the most rewarding experience I have is this ability to help somebody achieve better health care and a better health outcome. And so certainly by administering this vaccine, you know, we're preventing someone from hopefully from getting COVID. And I think that being a nurse and being in healthcare, anyone in healthcare, essential workers, you know, we just to be able to help somebody achieve a better health outcome is just the most rewarding thing. I just really have always, in the 40 years of my nursing career, have always felt that about helping patients.
Great. Thank you, Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah.
there something that surprised you about the role when you first started in nursing or through your
Yeah.
career?
I think what really surprised me the most was how much I love case management, because I had always been, you know, at the bedside. And I thought, you know, when my friend had told me about the position, and, you know, and I thought, oh, here I go back to behind a job, you know, behind a desk. And um, I absolutely loved it. I really found with case management that I was able to finally be the nurse I wanted to be. I had the time to spend with patients. I could teach, educate. I had the availability of, you know, spending a lot of time with the patients. And so that was the most surprised feeling I had, was how much I love case management.
So Wendy, you're in a very valued position, enviable position, whatever the word is, just to love what you do. And so what I'm going to ask you is, loving what you do, even still, there's challenges. What are some of the biggest challenges you have faced day to day?
Yeah, I have to say that the barriers to trying to get what my patient needed, that was really such a challenging thing for me. There were a lot of internal barriers that I faced, but most of them were external barriers. And I worked very, very hard to get what my patients needed. I fought many times when I felt that this was the right thing that they needed. And, you know, regardless of whoever or whatever institution said no, you know, I fought, and I really achieved most of what I wanted for my patient. And that's what I have to say, is these barriers to getting what my patients needed. That was really very, very challenging. And the hospital I worked at, we served the underserved population of Chicago, very limited resources. And so that was extremely challenging.
Yes, I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
What skills do you think are most important for someone interested in your profession and in what you do?
Mhm. Yeah, I feel there are many, many skills needed to be a case manager, but I think what comes to mind for me is to be an advocate for your patient. I really think that that's what drove me to achieve the best outcome for my patients, was that I advocated for them. I think that's a huge, very important skill that you need. You need to be a negotiator to obtain what is needed for your patient. You have to have the ability to coordinate care with all the stakeholders that are involved in your patient's health care. You need to really be a very caring individual and a very good listener.
Wow,
Yeah,
Wendy.
some of the skills.
Jeez.
Mhm.
I think you checked every box. Um, so right now, and I think I know a few of the projects you're working on, but can you
Mhm.
tell us what are some of the big projects you're working on right now or that you have finished up in the last few months?
Okay, before I left, I had I started a transplant journal club, which our hospital was going for magnet status, and a journal club really is the beginning of looking at the evidence-based research on a burning question you might have about, things that you're doing. So I started the transplant journal club, and it actually turned into an educational lecture. So it was held monthly. I got the CEs for the nurses. I had the attendings do the lectures. I had the PharmDs. I had people from outside. And so that was really something that I really enjoyed doing. I also was starting on trying to get patient-centered care for the transplant ICU. We were going to start very small in our hospital, the ICU unit. So we were working on that. And then I also was the union rep for my department. I just did a few little things for them. And now I'm writing several articles on the nursing strike that we held in August. And our main objective was safe patient-nurse ratios, which was just huge. And we won. And it was a very, very large victory. And so I'm writing some articles about my experience, what we went through. I'm doing that. And then our president of CMSA Chicago has asked me to do some stories for her book she's writing. So I'm going to be doing that. And then I've really I joined the conference committee with you, John, and with everybody. I have really enjoyed that, to develop that for our yearly seminar in April.
I really admire your energy level, your passion, and your diversity of interest. And thank you, Wendy.
Mhm.
Now, how has been, and you've been a very well-known member of CMSA Chicago for a long time. How has CMSA Chicago benefited your career, benefited your life?
Oh, I can't even, I would go on and on for hours. I mean, I've been a member of CMSA for over 20 years, and I have to say that it really enriched my career as a case manager. I attend the monthly seminars that CMSA has. I go to the Saturday morning seminars. Over 20 years, I've gone to the yearly conference. Every year gets better and better. The lectures, the quality, I've learned so much. It has really, really enriched my career. So I have to say that, that the quality, and then I also want to give kudos to the board. Every board, we have the re-elections, but just the board members are amazing, and they reach out to the members. They make sure that our lectures, our seminars are high quality, and I just it's been just unbelievable. And then I had the great honor of attending a national conference which was just incredible. I mean, I felt like I was walking on water. The lectures and meeting case managers from all over the country and international case managers was just so exciting. And I brought back so many of the projects, the lectures I had attended back to my hospital. I was just on a high. It was really something. So it has, like I said in the beginning, enriched my career immensely.
Wendy, thank you so much for joining us today. We'd like to thank you and all the CMSA TV Chicago viewers, and this concludes another episode of Member Spotlight. Thanks again, Wendy.
Thank you. So honored to be a member of CMSA Chicago. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, okay. So no, I don't want to, oh, I'm still recording. Let me turn that recording. So she'll